Everyone, welcome to the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. We've got a great laid-back show for everyone today. Brian and I are going to be walking through the latest news and headlines out there in the NFT world. We're also going to take a look at Coinbase NFT Marketplace, which recently launched this morning in beta. Not a ton of people on there yet. I am one of those people lucky enough to be on there. We're going to pull up and see how it compares to other platforms and take a look. So don't go anywhere. This is the Roadmap. All right, everyone. Yeah, as you heard me say, this is the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. We are not currently airing a lot of our shows on YouTube today because on our YouTube channel, we have the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference going on live in Florida. Some great presentations from cannabis companies. There's even a couple Congress members there talking about cannabis. Mike Tyson's there and a bunch of other people that you have heard of. So if you're interested in cannabis, of course, on this 420, make sure you check out that conference all day today, all day tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're here to talk about some NFTs for anyone out there who wants to join in with us. So if you are here live watching right now, let us know in the chat. Otherwise, if you're watching this interview later on or listening to the podcast, we appreciate your support as well. And speaking of support, I do want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's episode, FTX US, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world in terms of trading volume and daily users. The FTX app is used by over 6 million people to buy crypto and NFTs. No transaction or withdrawal fees. You can use your phone or computer. And the FTX US trading platform offers NFT trading on both the Ethereum and Solana blockchains with no gas fees. To find out more about the FTX app, click on the link in the description below and also pin to the chat right now. So go ahead and check out FTX. Let them know that Benzinga sent you, and a big shout out to our friends at FTX. And again, guys, if you're here watching us live, let us know in the chat right now. We appreciate seeing everyone tune in. And without further ado, I think it's time to bring on my co-host, Benzinga's own Brian Moir. Brian, what's going on, buddy?
Howdy. We're here.
We're here. I mean, Brian, it's Wednesday. I mean, whatever you want to call it, right? The middle of the week, hump day. It's also 420. So I know that's a holiday. A lot of people don't take lightly, and we of course are celebrating as a company by hosting the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, and
not in Tennessee.
They're airing live right now on YouTube, and we didn't want to take viewers away from that, but we also wanted to provide an outlet for anyone who's looking for news and headlines in the NFT space and also wants to talk about, this Coinbase Marketplace launch, which is something I've been highlighting on this show since day one. A lot of people out there asking when Coinbase. We finally got our answer. But Brian, we had a great episode yesterday, and I know, again, we were competing against the Psychedelics Conference, so we didn't get as many live viewers. So I just wanted to shout out yesterday's episode for Katje. If you want to go back, take a look, take a listen. We interviewed the Star Wolves team, which is a project we highlighted as one of the top projects to watch for the month of April. And that was a great interview, right, Brian? I mean, we talked to the team, we got the insight, we heard about that upcoming game. What's your key takeaways and thoughts after hearing from the Star Wolves team yesterday?
Sorry. I think it's gonna be really exciting. I mean, it's a pretty cool game. Like I think we went over this quite a few times during the interview and prior to the interview, that they've been working on this for a while. So it wasn't just kind of like a fly by night, kind of make money and hope it goes viral type deal. They've actually put in a lot of effort and a lot of work into this project. So you see a lot of dedication and a lot of, sweat equity that went into the thought and the actual dynamics of the game. And it has a lot more, I guess, a higher chance of longevity than some of these other projects and these play to earn games and stuff like that. I think we're actually going to see something viable and pretty cool at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I like that call out of sweat equity. I mean, that's something, that a lot of like your private companies before they go public, right? That's something, where these founders put in. And I think that's a good comparison here to these NFT teams, right? Is in order to have that longevity and these projects to last for a long time, I mean, you got to put in the work, the hours, and really build out a sustainable project. And again, I'm a little biased because I own some Wolves myself, right? But I really think that the team's got something good going here. So, again, if you missed that interview yesterday, make sure to check it out, Star Wolves. So, Brian, that interview yesterday actually went the full hour, which was awesome, too. It went by, super fast, didn't even realize it, which means we didn't really have a chance to get to our normal news and headlines that we hit on each episode. So today's episode is going to be a little bit of catch up, right, of the news and headlines from the past week or two. So one of the things we always like to talk about each week is the top 10 NFT collections by sales volume from the previous week. And there's so much to talk about with last week's. But before we get into talking about Moonbirds, which we're going to hit a little bit, just have to say that they did top the list on CryptoSlam, $202.5 million in sales volume last week. Mutant Ape Yacht Club second, 25.6 million. Bored Ape Yacht Club, 24.7 million. Followed by Azuki, Moir, CryptoPunks, Clone X, Imposters, Los Muertos, and Beans. So a very interesting list. And again, I mean, Moonbirds blew the list. They actually had more in sales volume in the 2 days of last week than the other 9 collections in the top 10 combined. Brian, what do you take away from this top 10 list?
So, I mean, the top 10, it sounds about right. I mean, there's nothing that stands out that I would have been like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I do want to talk about Moonbirds, and so I think I don't know if you want to get into it in a second or you want to maybe start it now, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's wait a sec. And yeah, we definitely got to get to Moonbirds. Brian, I think you're spot on, right? The list outside of Moonbirds, it looks pretty similar to the past couple weeks. Actually, interesting to note that Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and Azuki all remained in the same position, second, third, and fourth from last week. CryptoPunks, a decent gain on the week, up 79%, but they did have a $3 million sale last week for one of their rare punks, which obviously anytime you have one NFT selling for $3 million, that's going to change your volume a little bit, right? But Brian, outside of the top 10, also have to note that Doodles 11th place. I mean, Doodles keeps knocking on the door of that top 10 again. Krabata came in 12th place, right? The play to earn game on the Avalanche blockchain. That one keeps hovering, right between 10 and 15. And then NBA Top Shot came in 13th place. We have the NBA playoffs just started. We had a couple new pack releases, but I don't know if you saw this, but the NBA is actually launching some new NFTs this week on the Ethereum blockchain, going away from the Flow blockchain and Top Shot. So I was a little curious to see Top Shot show up this high, and I'm wondering if they can sustain that now with a little bit of competition coming from the NBA itself. So, and then also you see their Gods, which is on Solana, coming in at 20th place, and Cool Pets seeing a nice week too. So, what do you make of these projects from, kind of that 10 to 20 range, Brian? Are there any there that we could see come into the top 10 over the next couple weeks in your eyes?
I think Cool Pets definitely could. I think that if NBA Top Shot, and again, I don't mind a single episode without mentioning NBA Top Shot, but I think eventually they'll filter their way back in, because like everyone knows this project, and coming on the Ethereum blockchain, moving over from, I think the Flow blockchain is what they were on, what they started on. I think that's a big deal, and I think that's gonna kind of change the game. I think we're gonna continue to see, and right now we're in that kind of sports lull where it's really only baseball, and not really much else happening right now. So once we see football pick back up in the fall, or come to like maybe even spring practice and a few other things, I think we're gonna see some more stuff happen. I think they're gonna have to find a new way to kind of kick things up a notch. And if anyone goes on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, there's a lot of unboxing videos that are insanely popular right now, like trending in the top, and people like open those packs and they get a $40,000 card or whatever. I think we're going to see that with NFTs soon enough, and I hopefully that, if they're not doing this, they should, but I think maybe they might try to put some of that in there where you can do a mystery mint, that kind of thing. I think that'd be a good idea. I'm open for consulting if Top Shot, just so you guys know.
Yeah, no, excellent point there. We actually haven't done that in a while. I think I still have some Top Shot packs that are unopened. Maybe that's something we could do tomorrow or a upcoming show. Open up
Yeah, it'd be
some
fun.
packs. So yeah, and we got Money Mitch in the chat saying NBA playoffs, go Heat. I mean, all I know is my Pistons are out of the playoffs. Not that I'm a huge NBA fan, but
Yeah, and after the playoffs, it's just baseball, kind of, really.
Yeah, I mean, hockey is gearing up for the playoffs, but again, I'm a Red
Yeah.
Wings fan, and we've been atrocious this season, so we're not in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's really baseball right now, like you said, and then, until football hits, it is kind of that lull for sports. So, a great point there to see if some of these sports NFTs can kind of, keep up out of season. But, all right, well, we did the top 10, and I mean, you guys all saw it there, right? Moonbirds. If you don't know what Moonbirds is, we actually highlighted it as one of our top 5 projects to watch in the month of April. And this was a unique one because it was coming from a team that's already well known in the NFT community. Proof Collective was their first launch. Anyone who owned a Proof Collective NFT got 2 free mints. The other way that you could get a Moonbird was through a raffle. You had to enter a raffle, verify your Discord, verify your Twitter, and also prove that you had 2.5 Ethereum in your wallet. So 7,875 Moonbirds were minted by people who won a raffle to get a spot on the allow list. So if you spent 2.5 Ethereum and you won this raffle, you were able to turn that 2.5 ETH into over 20 ETH in one day. That is insane. And that is the reason why we do a show like this, why we provide that education. We talk about upcoming mints. This one had all the right things going for it. It seemed like a no-brainer win for anyone who got that raffle. I was not lucky enough to get that raffle. But Brian, I mean, huge win for people out there, right? That won this raffle, and I mean, they either held or sold, and got some liquidity there.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, for me personally, I was pretty priced out from Moonbirds. I mean, I didn't have 2.5 ETH just laying around. Of course, I didn't win the raffle. I might have, if I won the raffle, I might have tried to find a way to find that because I knew that something like this was going to happen. But I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. It's crazy. And there are so many scams. Please, please, please be careful out there. If you get a notification where you're tagged with a bunch of people that says, hey, we're doing another one or something, it's a scam. Don't click the link. Do not connect your wallet to anything ever. If you don't have a Moonbird right now, just don't connect your wallet to anything that says Moonbird, even their website. Just please be careful because you'll get everything in your wallet taken if you try to do something like that. But it's just, this is a very successful project. I mean, like overnight, they became the biggest thing. I've seen a bunch of tweets saying that Proof Collective is the next Yuga Labs, blah, blah, blah. I don't really quite, like, I don't really understand how they just blew up like this. But man, they were successful and they did the right things. I'm very, very impressed. But I understand.
Yeah,
I mean, like, it just blows my mind, kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, this was a great mint all around, and a really great project to talk about because we haven't seen these like overnight huge floor price gains in a while, right? This is something out there that, again, and that's not to say that all of these mints, all these raffles, these allow lists that you can earn a spot on will be as successful as this. But I mean, this one just checked all the boxes, right? And again, I was fully willing to spend the 2.5 ETH to mint one. I probably would have sold around 20, and not currently, holding had I have won one. But again, that's my personal thing. But the team, it's Kevin Rose, Ryan Carson, and Justin Mazzell, and they're pretty well known in both the Web 2 and Web 3 space. Rose was actually the founder of the social media platform Dig, which was kind of known as an early day Reddit, before Reddit
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
I
blew up
remember
in
Dig.
popularity.
Yeah.
You remember Dig? Yeah. So
Hmm.
Rose was the founder of Dig. Rose is also credited with helping a guy named Gary V get into CryptoPunks. I don't know if you've ever heard of Gary V.
I
And
don't know that.
they actually did a YouTube show years ago talking about NFTs and CryptoPunks. Very raw footage. I actually watched an episode of it. And then Carson's the co-founder and former CEO of Treehouse, which is a coding company that was
Yeah.
acquired. So just great experience all around for this team. They launched Proof Collective previously. It's only 1,000 NFTs, and those were minted at a price of 1 ETH each. The floor on Proof Collective is 100 Ethereum. Like, that's insane. Now it's dropped to 82 since my article came out, of course. But I think that showed right there, this high floor price, that there was going to be strong demand for Moonbirds, and that's what we ended up seeing. Yeah. And so Brian, I don't know if you saw this, but again, so there was only like 7,275 available to the people that won the raffle. Over 32,000 wallets registered for the raffle. That doesn't necessarily mean 32,000 people, right? Because some people might have applied with multiple wallets, but only 25% of the people that entered the raffle won. So you had 75% of people that were willing to pay 2.5 that didn't get it. So again, that shows you, hey, supply and demand, right? Another great flag, a good flag, right, to watch for some of these projects going into mint. The other thing about these is they really set themselves up for the future, right? They already said that they're going to provide utility, right? And one of the things they're going to do is they're going to launch Project High Rise, which is a future metaverse for proof holders. And they said that people who own Moonbirds will get first access to Project High Rise. They also plan to do a token in the future. And then, Brian, do you remember when we talked about this as an April project to watch? One of the things that Kevin Rose said was he did not like the way that Yuga Labs did ApeCoin, right? How you could buy a Bored Ape the night before ApeCoin launched, and you would get the same amount of ape as a person who held from day one, right? So what he wants to do with Moonbirds is really create a system where the longer you hold your Moonbird, the more you're going to be rewarded in the future. And one of those ways is right there on the screen. It's called nesting, and where you can, you lock up your Moonbird and it essentially gains, experience along the way. And the longer it's nested, the better it is. And one of the unique things here is if you choose to sell your Moonbird, it loses all of that. And I mean, Brian, you know crypto better than me. So normally if you stake your NFT, right, it's sent to another wallet or another place. They're doing this to where you don't have to do that. You're holding your NFT, so you're staking it, but it's not leaving your wallet. So can you kind of break that down a little bit of the difference here between like a normal staking process?
So I mean, that's it's kind of complicated how they what they do it. So it isn't really necessarily a normal staking process. So what I think you're doing is you're having your wallet sign a smart contract, and almost using something that's called like it sounds like it might be using a Merkle tree, which means that pretty much you're signing something, and within that signature it'll store the block and the hash that, you know, it'll line it up together, those things. And it's almost impossible to ever match it up or find another a pair of those two that are exact matches. So that's why you can pretty much validate with almost complete, you know, exactness that this is your Moonbird, and you can't sell it or can't do anything with it until you re-sign it out. And so I think that's why it stays in your wallet. That's the only way I can think that that's how they do it. I gotta look at the contract. I'm actually trying to pull it up right now to kind of dive into it. I'll have a better answer. But for right now, just thinking how they said it, that's how I think they do it. So you pretty much sign something. It says like, "Hey, this is it," and then it'll gain, and it'll pretty much be staking itself with that, because it can't really do anything, and then you have to sign it again to get it out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just I feel like it's a really unique way. And again, you know, Kevin Rose has said that, you know, he really didn't like the way that Yuga Labs did that, so he went out and he designed a system for his own project that was going to be unique, was going to be different. And the thing is, I don't know if we'll see other projects copy this, Brian, because I wonder if it hurts your secondary sales a little bit once nesting starts, right? Because if I have my Moonbird and I nest it and it gains, say, 100 days of experience, when I go to sell that, the 100 days is gone. So what's the advantage of a person buying it from me? There isn't one based on my 100 days, right? It's a little bit different when it comes to secondary sales. So I guess we'll see. Nesting, you know, is getting ready to go live, and I think we're gonna see more people get even, you know, more evolved into this. Again, you saw the floor price there, 21.5 ETH. That is insane for a new project. And again, congrats to anyone who was able to win that raffle. And Brian, just to break down for viewers and listeners here, the amount of sales volume that this project had, right? I mean, those numbers on screen, they look amazing, but let's put them in comparison. So in the first day of trading, Moonbirds did over 50,000 ETH in sales volume, which passed the one-day total of Mutant Ape Yacht Club of 41,000 ETH when Mutant Ape Yacht Club went live. In 2 days, Moonbird's sales volume, 69,041 ETH. That is the highest of any NFT collection in the last 30 days. So in 2 days, Moonbirds did more than any other project did in the previous 30 days. Like, that's insane. And also, 69,041 ETH is actually almost the same as Mutant Ape Yacht Club and Bored Ape Yacht Club combined in the last 30 days. Like, not just one, combined. That's insane. And already in the first 2 days, Moonbirds did more sales volume than the all-time sales of World of Women, Cryptodes, Cyberkongs, Pudgy Penguins, and VeeFriends, and lots of other collections. So again, I mean, just insane volume overall for Moonbirds.
Yeah, I mean, it's mind-blowing.
They do look good. Like, don't get me wrong. I like them. But on some level, I mean, it's, you know, when you compare artwork to artwork, you know, I don't know where, you know, this one stacks up. But I think, you know, the big thing here is people want to be connected to the Proof team. They want to be in that exclusive Discord. They want to get access to events. They want to get first access for that metaverse launch from Proof. And they ultimately want to do that nesting process, right? That's going to earn them stuff along the way. So I think it's less here about the artwork and more about the utility. All right, well, let's get in. That was a lot on Moonbirds. And again, a great project to talk about because it was so successful.
I just want to say, I just looked at the contract. I was right. That's how it would be done. That's how they do it. I mean, they do it. It's a lot more complicated than what I said, but pretty much you sign something to stake it, stays in your wallet, and you got to sign something to get it out, and that's how you keep it. And that's also how they use that same method to show you, like, if you sell it, then it just pretty much restarts, the earning process again.
Yeah, definitely. Great explanation there, Brian. And again, that staking process from them is, very unique and different. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. So, our NFT bracket for March Madness actually ended last week, and we've been so busy. We've had a couple shows that didn't happen. So we haven't had a chance to talk about this in a while. So, Brian, we've been doing a disservice here to our listeners and viewers to update them that we have a winner. So
Woo!
there it is on screen. Shout out to our friends, Crypto Dads. They've been on the roadmap before. They won the NFT bracket challenge from Benzinga, taking home the trophy, which we don't currently have a trophy. So this is just a pretend trophy right now. And if you can scroll down a tiny bit there, Alyssa, I think it's got or right there. Yep, the percents, guys. Crypto Dads did not just win. They won 94% to 6% over Star Catchers in the finale. And I mean, if you really scroll back, Crypto Dads showed up in this challenge. They won their rounds with very, very little, debate. I think they had a couple close ones, but the majority of them, they dominated. So, Brian, what do you think of Crypto Dads winning this and also dominating along the way?
They definitely have that community backing, man.
Yeah.
They were in it to win it, and they made things happen. That's for dang sure.
Yeah, and we will be trying to bring Crypto Dads back on. That is something we said, right? Whoever won this bracket challenge, we want to invite them on. We want to congratulate them and get an update. So we'll be looking to hear more from Crypto Dads in the future. But again, a big congratulations to Crypto Dads team and all their community members for winning the first ever Benzinga NFT bracket challenge. Something we definitely hope to continue in the future. All right, so Brian, our friends at FTX, right?
Mhm.
They are of this show, and they had some recent news that I want to highlight. Speaking of utility and talking about NFTs and what they can be used for. So there was a little music festival. I don't know if anyone out there has ever heard of it. It's called Coachella.
Just a little
A
thing.
couple thousand people, right? Tens of thousands of people show up, right? So they gave away free NFTs to pass holders for Coachella. So this is called the Bloom NFT. You can see why, I think, in that picture. So the Bloom NFT allows festival goers to unlock exclusive on-site perks throughout the weekends. So the Friday morning of each festival weekend, so that was last weekend, and I believe this weekend or next, you get your NFT and the seed blossoms into one of the 7 desert flowers. You can then redeem your NFT for merchandise, food, and beverage vouchers.
That's pretty
So
cool.
they're using these NFTs kind of as almost as a currency at the festival. I mean, that's pretty sweet.
Mhm.
And then you can also get VIP upgrades. You can get passes for next year, access to a VIP lounge. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can win and kind of earn your way up to by using the NFT. You do have to download the FTX app. And again, be a attendee at Coachella in order to get these benefits. But that's pretty sweet. Brian, what do you think of FTX using that utility here with NFTs at a huge festival like Coachella? Is this something we're going to see keep happening in the festival and the music scene?
I guarantee it. I guarantee that moving forward, this is how things are going to be done. I almost yeah. I mean, it just makes sense too, because now you don't have to wait on like I went to Bonnaroo for my 18th birthday, which feels like it was a while ago. But I waited, got the ticket in the mail, got the wristband and everything, and it was just so cool waiting on all of that and having that, physical thing but if you lose it, you lose it, you know? And so I think that this is the new way to do it. You know, you get the NFT, it's minted, it's yours. You can resell it now too. I mean, and then every time that's resold, a part of that will go back to the foundation or the company that started the whole concert or festival or whatnot. So they're always going to get 5% every time there's a sale or whatever it is. So it'd just be stupid not to. I mean, it's a never ending revenue stream. And then, yeah, you can change it for vouchers, for tickets. There's so many different use cases that they can utilize this for. And it's just, it'd be stupid not to do it this way.
Yeah, and this one's for Money Mitch, if he's still tuned in and listening, because I know he's a huge Formula One fan. He attended Formula One in Texas last year. So, Brian, FTX, they're taking it a step further, not just Coachella, but there's a Formula One race happening in Miami in May, and they are doing the same thing. If you go, you get to claim a free NFT ticket, and you'll be able to get different benefits, right? Like fast pass entry, food and beverage vouchers, and a chance to win concert tickets and Formula One merchandise. So again, you're kind of getting this benefit just for going, right? You don't have to buy this NFT. If you're going to Formula One in Miami, you download the FTX app, you claim your NFT, and I mean, you're a winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just huge utility here. And again, like you said, I think companies are silly if they don't start to integrate, you know, different utility and things like this. So shout out to FTX, you know, just raising the bar and doing something different here that, you know, I think a lot of people are going to end up, you know, seeing and copying and using themselves, because it's really a no-brainer here. It's something I've said for months. Maybe even over a year now, that like sporting events, music events, anything with a ticket, right? And you know that, Brian, you've said that too. Anything with a ticket, start using the blockchain, start using NFTs. You're wasting the experience otherwise, and a possible benefit and another incentive for people to go or to buy the tickets in the first place. So definitely something we'll be following along with FTX here with Formula One in Miami. An update here, Brian. So it didn't quite make our list of the top projects to watch in April because they didn't have a public mint date released yet. But it is out there now that VeeFriends Series 2 from Gary Vee and Vayner NFT is launching VeeFriends Series 2. So anyone who currently owns a Series 1 has a free mint of Series 2, and then also people who earned a spot on some different lists. There's a friends list that 32,000 people ended up on. There's the free claim, 10,255. There is a public mint, though, happening on Monday, April 25th, for anyone interested in VeeFriends Series 2. Now, the price is going to be the equivalent of $995 in Ethereum. So I mean, Brian, that's what, like 0.33 or something, 0.32, I think, based on the price of ETH, if we're around like 3,000. So let's call it 0.33 ETH for one of these VeeFriends Series 2. Now,
and they look so much better. I mean,
and I knew you were going to say that, Brian, and I was going to get to that because, you know, I love Gary Vee. But I've heard people, including I think you on a stream, you know, those VeeFriends Series 1 were a little basic, right? Kind of, you know, just some drawings. Look at this now with Series 2. I mean, these look straight out of like I could see this as a cartoon or a show that my kids watch, right? So this gets me excited. I'm ready for this public mint. 0.33, I think, is a great entry point. The floor price on Series 1 is 9.99 right now. The floor price on Series 2, last I looked, which again, people were able to mint if you had a pass, the floor price was right around 1.15. So going from, you know, where public mint's going to be at 0.33 to 1.15 already, a decent gain there for anyone. So, you know, Brian, what do you think of VeeFriends Series 2? The one issue I think a lot of people have is that this is going to be a large collection. 55,555 in Series 2. What do you make of this collection size and kind of that mint price of 0.33?
I I think the mint price and the collection size, that's well, the mint price is not terrible. I mean, it's pretty. You said it's 0.33, right? Not
Yeah.
0.03.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time
0.33.
seeing that, but yeah, it's that's not. I mean, that's pretty good for Gary V. You know,
Yeah.
that sounds about right. That sounds actually on the cheaper end for something that
Yep.
he does. You know, because he's big name and has pretty high price ranges. Whenever he does anything, it's always very expensive. So I think that's pretty reasonable. I don't think the total supply really ever matters in terms of if it makes it a good project or not. I think 10,000 is a little too much now. I think that's overplayed. I think everyone needs to kind of reel it in a little bit, but
Yeah.
you know, it's VeeFriends, so it is what it is. I think this project is going to blow up. I think we're definitely. I mean, the floor price is going to stick around to where I think it's going to surpass the first one easy, quickly. I think that we're going to see some. It's just so much better. I mean, what else is there to say? It is just so much better than the first one.
Yeah, and with that being said, Brian, I mean the first one, despite what anyone had to say about the artwork, they already signed a partnership with like Uno, right? They made a deck of cards based off the characters. They had like a wine partnership. They
Mm.
signed a partnership with that trading card company, right, to do like the box where you got a pack of cards. Um, I think these characters are easily licensable, right? And could easily be a TV show, a movie, or, a whole brand, right? And Gary Vee kind of said that before, right? That VeeFriends is like, it's his Disney, right? This is his Mickey Mouse, right? These characters are characters he hand drew and created, and he is going to spend the rest of his life providing utility and creating this project for holders. So I think I've said it before, like, don't bet against Gary Vee. So again, 0.33, it's on a little bit of the higher end of some of these other projects, but you just heard me say Moonbirds was 2.5 ETH mint, right? So
Hmm.
we have seen projects mint for more. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
definitely excited about it. And, everyone, not financial advice, do your own research. But I'm going to bet on Gary Vee here, and I'll be looking at Series 2. And I don't even think the current floor price, which is actually dropped to like around 1 for Series 2, is out of the realm either. If you want to avoid gas wars, you don't want to mess around with the public mint since there's only going to be 10,000. A floor price right now of 1 ETH on these really isn't horrible either. So just my own personal opinion. So something
Hmm.
to keep in mind there. The other big news I saw yesterday, Deadfellas, which is a project we
Yeah.
talked
Yeah.
about a
Yeah.
lot. They signed a deal with UTA, United Talent Agency, one of the largest talent agencies in the world. UTA signed a deal with CryptoPunks last year. So interested in this note. So um, obviously I've heard some of these people mentioned in NFTs before, but I don't even think I realized that they owned Deadfellas in their wallets. Reese Witherspoon, Lionel Richie, Steve Aoki, Dylan Francis, and Alexis Ohanian, the
Big
founder
name.
of Reddit. They all own some Deadfellas. The name that wasn't mentioned that I know from talking about the Super Bowl, right, is Odell Beckham Jr. Also owns a Deadfella, and he actually used it as his profile picture for quite a while. So Deadfellas is a collection of 10,000. Been highly successful, launched by Betty, a well-known artist now in the space, and they are going to work with UTA to expand into brand partnerships, merchandising, gaming, and live events. Now, Brian, when we hear these talent agency deals announced, a lot of times they normally talk about TV show or movies. This one didn't mention TV or movies, but jumped into merchandising, gaming, live events, and brand partnerships. What's your takeaway from this deal here?
Um, I think it's pretty big news. I mean, Deadfellas is definitely now blowing up. I did not see this before we started, so it'd be really interesting to see what effect that had on its floor price. Just that, like that, whenever that announcement came out. I don't know if we'd be able to kind of like pinpoint it, but yeah, I mean the Deadfellas is definitely, I would classify them as a blue chip, and I would say that, I mean, this is great news. There's really not much else to say about it besides that this is awesome for them. This is big. There's a lot of opportunities that this opens for this, but also this opens for other NFT projects and to see what's happening. Because I think, like, if we really look at it, if we like take a step back and look out towards the NFT space as a whole, there's maybe only 10, 15, 20 maybe tops. That's maybe reach, like stretching it. Maybe like 10 projects that are almost quote unquote household names out of the countless, endless number of projects that are really out there. Only about 10 of them that everyone knows about, everyone really wants. So, like, I think this is going to open up a lot more opportunities for other projects, because we're going to see other companies coming in, and some of these smaller companies with the brand partnerships are going to be priced out of like Bored Apes or Cool Cats and stuff like that, because they've already been bought. They already have these, huge partnerships, or they're just not going to do it. So I think we're going to see a lot more of these like smaller name, maybe sub 2 ETH NFT projects become these 5 ETH floor projects and become these blue chips seemingly overnight over the next couple months.
Definitely. All right, Brian, one more topic, and then we're going to get into what everyone is here to listen and to see as the Coinbase NFT beta launch. I wanted to talk about ApeCoin for a minute, Brian. First off, have you been following ApeCoin over the past couple days? I know you own some, but have you been paying attention?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it's doing a little up and down. Thankfully, it's kind of staying horizontal in a sense. It's staying about what I thought it was. I think that I'm still really bullish on it in the long term, because I think that, I mean, it just started, so we have a lot of time. It's not that the ICP token, Internet Computer, that was one of my biggest flops. I thought that was gonna be huge, but there's a backstory behind that. We won't get into that, but there's a reason that they sucked.
Yeah,
But
so
ApeCoin's gonna do good.
Look at ApeCoin, $16. I mean, Brian, I hold this in a couple different crypto wallets, and I don't even remember what my cost basis is, but I think it was around the $10,
Yeah, I
10
was
to
around
11
7.
range. I was gonna
At
say you
7
got
and
in
12.
lower.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of rumors that the other side land launch from Yuga Labs is coming soon, and that Ape is going to be the currency. Perfect. Thanks for zooming in there, Alyssa. So this is from our friend Dylan O'Rell. He was on the roadmap months ago. He put out this tweet, and it was did some super sleuthing on important recent Bored Ape Yacht Club tweet announcements. Fridays, specifically at 6 p.m., is when Yuga Labs likes to make their announcements. Brian, look at this list. This is a weird either coincidence or a clearly on purpose that all their major announcements have come on Fridays and a similar time. I mean, so the Mint announcement, the Dog announcement, the Christie's auction, the Apes versus Mutants game, the acquisition of CryptoPunks and Meebits, the launch of ApeCoin, the Other Side trailer. What do you think? When are we going to hear more about Other Side, and is it going to follow this same pattern? I mean, is it going to be on a Friday?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? Follow the trend, right? It's
Yeah.
got to be a Friday, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
a Wednesday, but no Friday.
Today's Wednesday. I thought it was going to happen last week, but then I was like, wait a sec, it's Easter weekend, it's Good Friday. Would they, do that with, a religious holiday, people celebrating, and kind of take away from that? Would that be the best look for them? Does it really matter? Now, here we are this week. We got the Coinbase launch today, and I think we're going to see Yuga Labs make an announcement this Friday. And I mean, obviously that's not a for sure, but what do you think, Brian? Is this the week?
No, yeah. What I mean, yeah. I'm also gonna join in that. If I was gonna place a bet on it, it would be this Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Big name. I mean, it's
I
big
still
time.
think that ApeCoin is going to be the currency for the land.
Oh yeah.
I'm like 80 to 90% is where my thought process is. I know some people think it's going to be Ethereum. Um, but I feel like it's going to be ApeCoin. That's part of their ecosystem now. With that being said, if you do own ApeCoin like Brian and I, if the game or if the land launch is announced and it for some reason is not with Ape, I think we see a huge drop because I think there's a lot of people betting on ApeCoin right now because of that. So just be careful, chasing something that's already going up in Ape. But those are my thoughts on ApeCoin and the Yuga Labs potential for the other side announcement. And we'll of course check back in and see if we were right, Brian. Because sometimes it's nice to make predictions and then have some wins, right? So. All right,
Agreed.
but we're starting to run out of time, so let's get into the
The big
Coinbase
news.
NFT launch. So I got an email today, Brian, and sorry to rub it in. I know you didn't get the same email, but it said Coinbase NFT is now live, and you're invited to join our beta. And then it gave me instructions that said to set up an account, visit this website, click sign in, and then put in this unique access code and you are verified. Connect your wallet. You can either connect a Coinbase wallet or your MetaMask. Um, and it said you've been selected to participate in the invite-only beta release of Coinbase NFT. We're thrilled to have you and can't wait for you to get started. Then I had to create a username, verify my email, and that was it. Now, if you want, you can upload a profile picture, which is similar to OpenSea. You can also write a description about yourself. I thought that was kind of unique, right? Instead of
Hmm.
just having, you kind of get to do your own. Now, the one thing here I have seen, Brian, and of course, I did not pick Brian Moore as my username, but we're seeing some celebrities kind of get sniped here by people that are getting this early beta, picking usernames of prominent NFT people because they get in first. What do you think of that?
I think they
Right there, G Money. That's the one. I was like, I know I saw someone tweet about this. Brian, you interviewed G Money before. What do you think of this?
yeah.
Someone got into Coinbase today and they chose violence by picking G Money
They
as
sniped
their
it from him.
Coinbase name.
I mean,
Is
yeah,
that
of
okay?
course it's gonna happen because then they'll be like, yeah, I'll sell it back to you for 20 ETH. I mean,
Yeah.
why not? I mean, but I think that Coinbase might implement something that kind of how ENS and
Yes.
Unstoppable Domains did, to where you gotta, if it's a verified account or something, you submit proof and they'll take it back and refund the person who bought it or has it, or I guess they didn't buy it, but
Yeah.
maybe have it. But if it's decentralized, then but it's not. So we'll see. I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's if it makes some money, this person, G Money or one of these, any of these guys have the money to buy it back. So why not? I think it's kind of crappy to do, but
Yeah.
that would be the
Now,
understanding why.
Now let's walk through the website here, right? So this is a first look here. So here's Andrew Wang, a prominent guy in NFT space. You can see some of these. There's Zeneca there, Sarah Bauman, who's a NFT creator. It kind of shows you different people you can follow. Now this is a little bit different, right? Because like on OpenSea, Brian, you have to know famous people's like wallets or their username in order to find them. Whereas Coinbase is kind of just putting it out in front of everyone saying, hey, here's some top people that you should follow. Do you think that's the right move here? And will it scare some of these celebrities and influencers kind of away from, highlighting their Coinbase activity?
Oh, that's such a good idea. I mean, it's such a good thought. And because I don't know if it's gonna scare anybody away, but you're gonna start following, I guess, like Andrew
Yeah.
Wang or something, and it's not really gonna be him. It's just some guy, some like 12-year-old from New Hampshire that does just has a bunch of NFTs and whatnot, and it's not
Yeah.
really the real person you thought it was. Interesting to think
Yeah.
about, especially if it gets verified.
Yeah, and I don't know like how they're verifying all these or what their process is. I mean, maybe they onboarded some of these celebrities first. Um And again, this is just the beta launch, so nothing's final. There's a chance some of this could change, but here you have some of the collections highlighted. Brian, we've gone over on the show some of these different collections that announced that they're launch partners with Coinbase. I don't really see a lot of those launch partners like on the homepage. Like, because I remember like let's say Deadfellas. Deadfellas was a launch partner. Pudgy Penguins, right?
Penguins, but ABS, Adam Bomb Squad's there, Doodles, Cool Cats.
Yeah, so some are there, but some aren't. So it's a little weird to me. I don't know. But so here you have like Deadfellas. If you scroll down, Alyssa, I think it shows the ones that are for sale first. Yeah, so we've got a couple there for sale. Again, I don't know how many people got into the beta today, but there are not a ton of NFTs for sale. Let's go to Bored Ape Yacht Club. That obviously is one of the most well-known, most expensive. So Brian, here's what I want to point out. You can see every Bored Ape in the collection. There are none listed for sale on Coinbase currently. So for as much as they did getting, JPEG sold out. As much as they did onboarding some of these, well-known projects to be launch partners, what do you think of like not getting some of these bigger blue chip names to come have some listings? Is that going to hurt the initial hype here?
Well, since it's a very small percentage of people that are in it right now, I don't think it's going to really have an effect. I'm sure that they'll get on because, isn't Coinbase doing that movie with Bored Apes?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think I'll be fine.
All right, Alyssa, pick out one of these apes and let's click on it. And I want to highlight some of these things. All right, so this is one owned by one of the founders of Yuga Labs here. Bored Ape number 1. So over on the right hand side, guys, you see the attributes, right, or what people know as traits. Now, Brian, when you get a NFT, you have traits. What does a platform like OpenSea tell you about your traits?
It gives you, all of them.
And doesn't it show some percentages?
Oh, yeah. That's what you're getting at.
So Coinbase, yeah. So again, I don't want to like criticize too much, but I just feel like it's missing. And I don't know if that's going to get added, but like if I have an orange background, how rare is my orange background? Right? I can see my picture.
That's important.
I know what's there, but I want to know how rare these traits are. And Alyssa, if you scroll over like orange background, right, you can't click on it. So Brian, on OpenSea, when you click on it, right, it tells you, you go look and you can see the floor price for that specific trait. You can see how many, right? It tells you right there at the top how many have that trait. What do you think, Brian? Like, is this just that they forgot to put that in? I
think it's still in beta. I'm sure
they have to though, right? Like you cannot not have this, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that it's gonna be there. I mean, I think it's only because it's still in beta. I think that's the only reason.
Now, the one thing I do like is right here below the picture, Brian, it says minted. So normally if you go to an NFT, you have to kind of do some digging to find out when it was minted, see the trading history. This puts it front and center of the day it was minted. Now, here's another feature on the left-hand side there. And Brian, this one I'm on the fence on. I want your opinion on this. There is a comments section on each individual NFT, not just the collection, like all Bored Apes, but for each individual Bored Ape, people can leave comments. Now, I don't think you can leave links, so hopefully we don't get all the spam. But what do you think of people being able to leave comments on an NFT on Coinbase here?
No, I mean it's kind of neat. You can do this on like Etherscan or by BSC scan, where you put comments on different contracts or token the block explorer. And so it might be good to like have this to where if if Coinbase allows anyone, just kind of like OpenSea is an open source an API where you can just put it on there, and if you mint it, it's going to show up if it's in your wallet. If Coinbase has the same thing, it'd be an easy way to show if this is a scam or not. But also, it'd be an easy way for people to see if like this is a really liked feature. This is like the
Yeah.
traits can be more calculated instead of being so as more subjective or something like that. Like someone, you don't have to use a certain tool like Rarity Sniper or something like that in order to see if people like this one over the other, like this certain trader, this one, blah blah blah. You see
Yeah.
a lot of fire hearts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's a great point. Seeing which traits maybe are well desired or well loved, just from a aesthetic point. I kind of like this right here. If you click on the shop button, it kind of just gives you a wide range of different collections. Now, normally a platform, like OpenSea and some of its rivals, will kind of highlight some, but otherwise, you really got to know which projects you're looking for and then type it into the search bar, right? I mean, that's how I find NFT collections I want to buy. Is I got to know the name of it first. But I kind of like this feature. You really just get to browse and just look at them. I mean, Brian, is this a good way to find out, some collections that maybe you've never heard of before?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it looks very similar to OpenSea. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like doing that sometimes on OpenSea. I think it's gonna be really interesting to see when we have full product launch of Coinbase Marketplace. See what we're gonna have, because if it's just like OpenSea, the only thing that's a bonus here is the fact that there's no fees right now, and
Yeah.
they just
Yep.
have them paused at the moment.
Yeah, they have their feast pause. Great point there, Brian. The other thing that I think is really going to help Coinbase is, like I said, you can connect your MetaMask, or you can connect your Coinbase wallet. So if you have Ethereum in your Coinbase wallet and you want to buy an NFT with Ethereum on the Coinbase marketplace, I feel like it's going to be super easy and you don't have to go through a bunch of steps, right? Whereas currently you have to have Ethereum in your MetaMask, you have to transfer it, um, from a different place. And I just feel like Coinbase, again, since they have all these cryptos, and once they onboard like Solana and some of these other blockchains too, I think they might have an advantage there. But
And what
uh,
Solana's now in OpenSea and beta
yeah,
too. That's big.
yeah. So Brian, my question here is, you know, uh, today was just the beta launch. We're gonna get a full launch soon. But what do you think of just like first day impressions, browsing this and seeing this kind of for the first time here on the stream?
I like it. I think it's going to be really interesting, and they have a corner on the market right now. Um, so where they have millions and millions of users already, so they're gonna be huge. I mean, I cannot wait to see when they're fully open. I want to see the trading volume of this marketplace versus OpenSea, and then I doubt LooksRare is going to even compete in either one of them. But maybe we see a little bit more competition. Maybe it spreads out a little bit. We'll just have to see if they have a better way of handling all the blockchains that are like very popular right now. If they have a way to do that easier and faster and better than OpenSea, then I mean they're gonna be miles ahead.
Yeah, and Brian, I'm a numbers guy, and I only know this because I wrote the article today to support this. But you said that Coinbase has millions and millions of users. I have those figures in front of me. So
How many they
Coinbase,
got?
in the last fiscal year, so the most recent quarter they reported was the fourth quarter, they had 89 million verified
Cool.
users, 11.4 million monthly transacting users. So people who were actively trading crypto like every month, right? Some people, are more passive, right? They're just investing along the way. The wait list for the Coinbase NFT marketplace has over 4 million people on it. So
That's crazy.
there's G Money. So it looks like G Money
You
NFT
got it
was
back.
what he settled on. So maybe he tried to get G Money, or maybe he figured this out. But I see a blue check. So, and I don't know like how quickly you can get a blue check and all that. I do know I already have some followers, and I haven't even advertised what my username is, so some people found me. But yeah, let's definitely do some more dives into the Coinbase marketplace here, because I think this was a lot of fun, and hopefully our viewers and listeners liked this. Right, the live look through of the platform. And again, I mean, I have beta, so I can, get in there. I can buy and sell. I haven't yet.
Why don't you just rub it in, Chris?
Yeah. Oh, there's Brian Armstrong. Okay, so I followed him this morning. He had 230 followers. He has 688 now. So I don't know what that means total users wise, but they're definitely onboarding more people throughout the day. But something to keep in mind. But all right, that's going to do it for today's episode. As I said before, we do have the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference going on right now as well. Let me go ahead and drop the link in the chat. If when our stream ends, if you want to head over and listen in on that, and then I believe Spencer and Joel will also be on at 3:30 to do pre-market prep at the close. But otherwise, there's not a lot of shows happening on Benzinga's YouTube channel. A rather quiet day, but definitely check it out. And we will talk to everyone soon. So have a good rest of your day.